Hi, my name is Rizmay Ananda and I am an English language and literature student. Since I study in my major, that is literature, I learned that a story made by human is the same complex as human mind itself. So here I present a famous literature creation and relate it with literature theory. Oedipus the King, the complexity of a Greek tragedy with Freudian analysis. Yeah, before we go to the main content, I give you a list of our focus in this learning. First is Greek tragedy, second, Oedipus the King by Sophocles, third, Sigmund Freud, psychoanalytic theories, and the last, Oedipus complex. Greek tragedy. The word tragedy sounds like when your life makes you suffer or your life is terrible. And when tragedy becomes a genre in drama, it means that the characters are through a hard life that makes the audience feel fear and pity. And that's the purposes of tragedy. Makes the audience feel suffering like the character. In literature, tragedy becomes popular in Athenian around 5th century and it's performed in classic theater. And some honorable playwrights are Sophocles, Aeschylus, and Euripides. But let's focus on the work of Sophocles, Oedipus the King. Sophocles wrote three plays: Oedipus the King, Oedipus at Colonus, and Anticum. And all the three stories is about the complex life of Oedipus and his family. Let me introduce you to the Oedipus the King. Oedipus is the king of Thebes, who killed his father and married his mother unexpectedly because of his bad fate. We know from that Oedipus' life is very tragic, right? And the story starts when Oedipus is asked by Thebes citizens to help them because they're dying from the plague. And he came to the blind prophet and the blind prophet said that Oedipus has to solve who is the murderer of Laius, the king of Thebes before. Then Oedipus starts to seek who is the murderer of Laius. He asks several times to the blind prophet until the answer comes to him. Through the story goes. During the truth finding, Oedipus finds out that he is the murderer of Laius, his biological father. And he just know that his mother is his wife. And after that, he sees his wife hang herself dead. When and then he stabbed his own eyes to punish himself. What's the tragic part in this story? Oedipus Rex is a tragedy of destiny. The drama wants to say that man is a puppet of God. They don't have a choice. God controlled their fate, as Dodd said in his journal on misunderstanding the Oedipus Rex. According to Virgilia too, what makes the audience sympathize with Oedipus is because he is innocent and unfortunate, or wicked and purposely unjust. His life is very complicated and affect the readers or audience response when psychology of Oedipus is threatened in the story. Psychoanalytic theory, Oedipus the King. Psychoanalytic theory is a theory by Sigmund Freud based on the human mind, brain, and behavior. Psychoanalysis based upon some theories of how the mind, the instincts, and sexuality works, developed by Sigmund Freud. And in psychosexual development, there are five sexual stages: the oral, the anal, the pelvic, that is Oedipus complex, and the latent and genital. And the pelvic stage appears in Oedipus complex or Oedipal fixation. The word Oedipus in psychoanalysis actually came from Oedipus story. The Oedipus complex is a phenomenon when boys are cursed to follow their subconscious sexual urge and sleep with their mothers and become refuels for their father. A man with an Oedipus complex needs a woman who has a motherly character and is nurturing. Therefore, men look forward for women who are older than their age so they can feel safe and protected. And this explanation is related to Oedipus' relationship with his wife, who is also his mother. Even though they have the same name, Oedipus and Oedipus complex. However, does Oedipus experience the Oedipus complex? The answer is no. After revealing the truth, Oedipus pierces his eyes out after finding his mother dead. His mother is his wife, who birthed his four children. Even though the idea is from Oedipus' myth, Oedipus did not suffer from the Oedipus complex. The fact is, Oedipus does not consciously know that he killed his father and married his mother. Freud believed Oedipus' sin was both killing his father and having sexual relation with his mother, and that is what he derived from theory from. But Oedipus' sin was the fact that he did not know who he was. Yeah, then what about the other complex? The complex is something that confusing. Does Oedipus have his complex? Is Oedipus a complex story? Yes, it is. Oedipus has no right to refuse his fate. He has to reveal the truth that is hidden by life and the people around him. Aristotle cites Oedipus as the most brilliant example of the theatrical plot. Yeah, the conclusion. It is true that Oedipus complex was inspired by Oedipus' play. Even though Oedipus didn't suffer from Oedipus complex, the story itself is very complex and considered a brilliant Greek tragedy. So this is the references of this presentation, and I would like to say thank you for listening.